You gonna help me record? Hmm? Oh my goodness. Big fluff ball. A little meow from the microphone? Yes or no? No or yes? Yes? Oh? A little meow from the microphone? Oh, he's so cute. Oh, kitty. Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Barricade, and in today's video, we're going to be looking at a game that I think is super underrated, and a game that I've been playing a lot recently, called Dauntless. Now, you may have heard it before, you may have not, but it's an interesting little game that I have been playing for probably about a month, but a long time ago, like a year ago, I played it for a long time. But I came back to it, and it's pretty different now. But I've played a lot of it, and it's one of my favorite games currently. It's really chill, it's really simple, and I thought I'd go ahead and make a video on it, just give it a bit of a shout. And I've been playing it a little bit over on my Twitch. That's been an interesting game to stream. It doesn't really pull in the views, but it's not why you do it, right? So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the content. So, if you look at the bottom of the screen, there's a little Chainblade logo, and it has a level 6, like a big 6 on it, and then under it has a little smaller 6 that has a little like wing around it, and that is my Reforge level. Reforge is when you get to max level, which is 20, you can reforge and get benefits across not just the weapon that you reforged, but across all weapons. And I don't really use any other weapons, but the chain blades are a good thing for me just because they're faster, but it is nice to have benefits across all weapons. I have been thinking about using the axe a little bit recently, but I really am not sure what I'm going to do yet. Other than that, let's go ahead and look at what we should do for a level 6. So, if we go to Hunting Grounds, Sunderstone is a good spot to be at, and it looks like the best armor to wear would be fire. See, when it comes to armor and weapons, there's certain things that counter, kind of like Pokemon. So, if you're going to fight a fire behemoth, which is what the monsters are called, you want to wear fire armor because it gives extra resistance against fire. And you want to use ice weapons because it gives extra damage against fire, and vice versa. For instance, if you're fighting an ice behemoth, you're going to want to wear ice armor and use a fire weapon because it gives you a resistance boost and a damage boost. So here, Sunderstone, there's well, if it would highlight it, a Charog, which is fire, an Embermane, which is fire, a Skarn, which is Terra. But if we wear fire armor, it doesn't make a difference. It doesn't give us extra benefits against grass. It's not like Pokemon where it has like multiple counters. And then there's a Quill Shot, which is just neutral. Nothing really does anything against it, but it's just weaker overall because of that. So we probably want to wear our fire set. So if I go to my inventory and swap over to my fire set, it's right here. And we got to stay in style, so let's go ahead and change my hair color to red. That's Slayer's Path. That's not what I want. So get our red hair color. Done and done. And we are looking very clean, as you can see. Gotta fight in style. Dress for the behemoth you hunt. So let's go ahead and go to Sunderstone. We'll probably do this until we get to level 9, which is one level past the recommended level. The recommended level for here is 5 to 8, I believe. Maybe 6 to 8. I think it's 5 to 8. And we're level 6. So we'll probably do it until we get to level 9, and then we're a bit too high for that. Now, I'm Reforged 6, so in truth, I probably could go up to a higher zone. But I really don't think that's necessary. I figure we'll just stay with where we're at. Man, I really hate these film bars on the left and right. I really wish they wouldn't do that whenever you're loading in, but they just have to have it, so. See, they'll go away as soon as we load in. Yep, here we go. Clear. So it looks like someone's finding a Charog down here. So I go in, and he's already using his rage ability because people have been fighting him for a little while. So, see, I'm not doing quite as much damage as I normally would, and I went for too many heavy attacks there. So Dauntless kind of builds around the idea that there's melee, it's, you know, all melee except for the repeaters, which is like a pistol. The closer you are, the more damage you do, but, you know, generally in Dauntless, the closer you are, the better, but it's kind of hard to focus and dodge while I'm talking, but I've got enough extra health that I'll be fine. But it builds around the idea that there's heavy attacks and light attacks. Light attacks being faster but doing less damage, and heavy attacks which do more damage but are take longer. Overall, it's probably better to do light attacks because you can dodge on the fly, and they'll kind of attack at random intervals. They don't really have a pattern that they go off of. At least that's not from what I've observed. So there's an Embermane over here. So we will go and fight it. We have a glider that we can use. So he's already quite low health. And that little thing we saw above his head for a second, it might pop up again here. Yep. That means you can stun him when he comes running at you. Let's see if he does it again. See if I can stun him. Yeah, I stunned him. So he's stunned now, and now that means we can get some free attacks in on him. And he died pretty quickly because he was already pretty low health. But normally the max HP is 1,000, but I have a couple upgrades that make it to where it's higher. So that's why my HP is so high. And then the blue is shields, and that is where I would talk about lanterns. Lanterns are a thing that you use that give you a special little ability. So see, if you look up at the top right, a little stone circle, or top left, and now if you look around me, I have little stones that are popping up around me, and they're doing a little bit of extra damage to this dude right here. They're not going to do a whole lot, because one, he's dead, I didn't even realize, and two, he is a Terra Behemoth, and the little stones that damage things around me do Terra damage, so he has resistance to that type of damage. Here's another Charog. He's relatively high health. I almost got the dodge off there. So now we're going to use a special, which for the chain blades, at least for the one I have equipped, is you could choose to do. We saw the big slam that I just did, but you could also do this and just to do a little attack like that. There's not really any point in doing that. You do less damage, and really you can just do more damage without using any of your points towards your slam. But that slam does a large amount of damage, which is good because with the chain blades, there's not really a whole lot of big bursts of damage. It's just mostly constant little damage that you're doing, which can be very effective if you have the right build to do more damage per hit. And then chain blades can actually be really dangerous. They're definitely by far the most popular weapon. Just they have the most people that use them. Like the other two people that are sitting next to me right now are both using the chain blades. It's just by far the most popular. People like it a lot. But looks like there's a world event going on, which is not something that you'll see every day, but occasionally you will. And it looks like it's Embermania, which the Embermane is a little dog thing that ran at you and could get stunned. So this is a lesser Embermane, these two, meaning that they're a little easier, but they're still level 8, so they can still pack a little bit of a punch. But they won't really pack much of a punch for me because I've gotten used to, one, gotten used to fighting these, and two, they are, I'm reforged, so I do a little more damage than a normal level 6 would. Not to mention it's a lesser Embermane, so it's already going to do less damage than normal. So I'm getting him to be dead here in about probably 8 seconds. Yeah, there he goes. And now, I believe another one lesser Embermane and a normal Embermane will pop up, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. but I believe, yep, there we go. It's a lesser Embermane and a normal Embermane. So he's stunned, so I will use a slam on him. And the normal Embermane stunned it, and I ended up losing momentum for it, so, you know, that's fun. So, in retaliation, I will use my slam on him and do 3,000 damage to him. Because he deserves it, because he's sucky. So the lesser Embermane goes down. So I dodged that one. And normally the dodging is like a roll, or if you're using the war pike, it's a cartwheel. But with the chain blades, it's like a dash, like this. And it's a lot easier to dodge with it. There's 11,000 damage. I don't know if that was from me or someone else. But see, we're all using chain blades. It's definitely the most popular weapon. It's because it's the fastest and really the easiest to use. But I like probably the chain blades and the war pike. I also don't hate the hammer. I'm not a huge fan of it. It's definitely something that I would have to kind of like sit through. For it to be fun, I would have to kind of get through the stuff that isn't fun, and you know that's never really fun, is it? There's also bounties that you can get with your bounty tokens. These little things up here, and they'll give you a nice little XP boost. So now we have to fight 2 normal Embermanes. And that one accidentally got stunned. I did not mean to stun him, but I'm not about to complain about it. So now there's 2 of them, so I'm actually going to use my slam to see if I can hit both of them. I didn't quite hit both of them, but we actually ended up stunning both of them, which is good. I think everyone's going for this one. It seems to be lower health. So he's going to rage, and now I've actually dodged through an attack, which means that I can use my Omni Cell. An Omni Cell is a item that you equip that gives you a special ability. For instance, the one that I have is called Tempest, meaning that whenever I dodge through an attack, I can dash forward with an electric burst that deals a lot of damage. But it also has a passive ability, which makes it to where my attacks are 15% faster. For instance, there's one called Iceborne, which gives you more HP, and you throw like a big ice knife at something. There's one called the Artificer, which has like a little drone. You could heal and revive people with it, as well as give it to where there's 15% more damage on a creature. There's one called the Revenant, I think is what it's called, and you basically sacrifice some of your own health to do a lot of damage to the enemy. But there's like Omni Cells are kind of like modifiers that you can have that can alter your gameplay in a big way. But this is my fire outfit. I guess I didn't really take a second to let y'all look at it. It's red and gold. If you guys are some of my Twitch viewers, you will know that I used to play a lot of Sea of Thieves, and this little coat jacket and the leggings, and really the gloves for that matter, look a lot like the Glorious Sea Dog, which was recently removed from the game because they removed Arena. But it is probably one of my favorite sets. I think it looks very nice. But overall, not a bad world event. Not a bad set. Nothing about what just happened is bad. And I like the mask. There is a hat that looks very reminiscent of the Glorious Sea Dog hat, but it changes the hairstyle, and I don't really like how it changes it. And it just makes the character look a little bit weird. So I ended up not wearing it. I like the mask better anyways. Kind of looks like a gas mask, which I think is kind of cool. Something you'd have to wear if you were going into like a fire missile silo or something. Just very cool. So, there we go. He ended up going down pretty quick. There's a Charog or an Embermane. I'll probably go for the Embermane because it's closer, and I like fighting those more. I just think they're more fun to fight. One, because they can get stunned. The Charog cannot. So, that's one of the reasons I like fighting the Embermane. So he's going to come running at me. Or not. Or he'll go running at my friend there. Yeah, see, he just used the ice knife. He threw it at him, so he probably has a little more HP than I do. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. He might not have the cell that I do, which increases my HP. But a cell is something you can put on your armor that can change something. So, for instance, there's one that can make it to where your lantern ability recharges quicker. You can also put that on your lantern. Your lantern can also have cells as well as your weapon. But there's one called Tough, and it just makes your HP number higher. I think there's one that makes it to where your attacks are faster. I could be wrong. I don't know. But there's a good stun. I'm gonna try to get his tail. Another big part that I failed to mention is the fact that every behemoth has parts that you can get off of it, and that's how you make armor and weapons. So every creature has at least 4 limbs that you can use, as well as a tail and some head pieces. And you can get all of those by destroying the corresponding parts, whether it be the arms or the legs, the face, or the tail. And if you've noticed, a lot of the time whenever we go and attack something, we're always going for a piece of the behemoth. So for instance here, I'm going to try to go for his head, because I can get his big horn off. And so his head piece is gone, and now I'm going to try to go for the tail. And it's got some cuts in it. We might not be able to get it before he dies. He might die before we can get it, but maybe not. Yeah, so he died, but we got his headpiece, which is good. And I think we'll probably go for this Charrock now. But this is a fun little game that I find is very chill. It's very easy. It's just a point and click, and you just smack monsters for 2 or 3 hours, and it's pretty chill. It's pretty fun. It's a nice game to talk to chat with. Grammar. It's a nice game that I can talk to chat while I'm playing. And overall, it makes my job as a streamer a lot easier. But it's a fun little game to play even off stream. There's always a goal that you have to achieve, which in a game is huge for me. I have to have an objective to complete. I can't just mindlessly play. If this game didn't have objectives and things you had to complete, whether it be getting the next armor set or completing a challenge, then I would not play this game. It's the same reason that I just don't find games like Minecraft fun, because there's no objective. There's nothing to do. I've tried speedrunning to make that fun, and I don't like speedrunning in games. I just don't think it's fun. I don't like the idea of being on a time crunch. That is one thing that I don't like, is being on a time crunch. But overall, I like this game a lot because there's always some sort of goal. It's one of the reasons I like Inscription so much, is because you're trying to win. You're always trying to win, and it's never just mindlessly playing. I like Casey's mod a lot for that. But overall, it's just a fun little game that I can play whenever I want to. So, okay, I dodged through the attack, meaning I can use the electric dash ability. I'm going to get a slam as well. Get a good 6k damage there. Almost dodged that attack, but not quite. I'll do some heavy attacks while he's in his stun animation. And now I think I've just destroyed every single part that he has. Things are not normally this easy. It's because, really, I should be going to higher level areas, but I'm kind of just doing this to show off the game a little bit. I'm not trying to show that I'm good at it, because I'm not. That's not something I have to prove. I know I'm good at it. But I mean, just in general, it's a fun little game, and I want to show it off. Maybe get more people to play it, so they can update the game more often, because they do update the game every 2 or 3 months, and they'll add a new behemoth to fight or something. But in terms of new weapons and things and huge content updates, we haven't really gotten anything like that for a very long time. And that's partly because the game is very small. It doesn't make a lot of money. It's a free-to-play game, which is one part of it, and they don't have any pay-to-win things. The only thing they have is really boosters that you can get to boost your XP, and that's it. That's all you can get. Everything else is completely cosmetic, and that's rough on a game that's free to play because not everyone really cares about cosmetics. Luckily, their artists for their cosmetic content is just, they're so talented. They do a great job every single time, and they've definitely drawn even the most stingy of people when it comes to money in with buying their stuff. They do a great job every single time. But personally, I find that one of the best things that they do is kind of keeping up with their community. They do a really good job of that. There's a lot of gaming companies that don't do that enough today, and I think that they're very good at that. It's just a matter of the fact that they don't really have a big enough team to really go through and make updates super often, kind of like some of these bigger AAA games like Call of Duty or Halo. And they do a hunt pass every month for 2 months or so, but even those can get a little boring after a little while, and it just, you know, it would be nice to see them get a lot more players, and be able to see the game flourish a little more. And as tiny of a creator as I am, I'm simply not going to make a difference. I'm not even going to say might not, I will not make a difference. But maybe 2 years from now, when this video randomly goes on someone's recommended for some reason because the YouTube algorithm is weird as hell, maybe, just maybe, a little spark will pop up again for the game. Who knows? But until that happens, I'm just going to vibe and enjoy the game for what it is right now. So we'll beat this dude, and then we'll probably go ahead and end the video. Ooh, I got my shock ability. And if you notice, I'm getting these little ice geysers that are popping up every time I use my lantern ability. It's because of the weapon I have. Whenever I use my lantern hold ability, it will spawn a little ice geyser like that. I'm going to try to get his tail, because we didn't get the tail off the last one. But I don't know. I might not be able to. I'm using an ice weapon because it's a fire zone. Yep, there we go. We got the tail. I don't have all 4 little momentum points to get the full slam damage, but I got a good amount of points there. Alright, so he died, and he's not coming back, I can tell you that. We'll go up here and end the video up here. On this area up here. I wonder if I could get up there. I probably cannot, but... You know what? Screw it off, mate. I can't... That was strange. Anyways. But I mean, another thing too, is this game looks really nice. Like, it just looks really good. But other than that, I don't think there's a whole lot else to say. With this game. There's a lot more that I didn't cover in this video, and maybe, who knows, maybe I'll do another video like this. It's not likely, but, you know, stuff happens. I may end up doing something like this again. But other than that, I think we're going to go ahead and end today's video. It's a nice little video, just kind of showcasing one of my favorite games. And I hope that you guys can maybe pick it up for yourselves. Again, it's free to play. It's on Epic. It's just Dauntless. You can search it up. Yeah. Other than that, I think I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and maybe click the notification bell so you never miss when a video goes live, and make sure to leave a comment if you want to see a certain type of video and you don't know how to contact me. Then leaving a comment is a good way to do it, as well as going to my chat at twitch.tv/justabearkid, which will be in the description box of this video. Anyways, other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and leave you all with this as a little video, and I will see you all in the next video. stay champions, and peace.